All right, guys. This is gonna be this will probably be a little long video, but this is my new Texas Pride dump trailer. I'm a little late on the review. I bought this back in September, probably the first or second week of September. And so I've owned it for a little over 2.5 months. And I've had not really major issues, but annoying issues with this trailer. So I'm gonna kind of go over, I'm gonna just do the long story short version of this. And but I'll kind of show you what I got too. So originally I had bought this trailer, okay, to be able to haul this bigger skid steer I planned on getting this year, a full-size skid steer with a bush hog, okay? And it's just been kind of one thing after the other with this, okay? It's 18 foot long. I'll kind of go over from the beginning. So I ordered this trailer for a bigger skid steer and also to have more capacity in the dump, to like haul stuff off to the dump, right? So I priced out on August 17th. I ordered this trailer. It's a 18 foot dual ram dump trailer with two 9K axles with upgraded tires. So technically it's rated for 18K, but it can really handle 20K. It came with the wireless remote, or I got the wireless remote, the dual tarping system, 12-inch centers with reinforced floors, or the reinforced floors came with the 12-inch centers, I guess. The equipment ramps, and that was all the options I spec'd out, okay? When I picked up the trailer, I didn't really look over it much because I was sort of in a rush. The guys at the place I picked it up from were kind of a little bit of in a rush. And so I didn't really look over the trailer because from the outside it looked fine. Oh, I also got the spare tire here too. But when I got home, after I paid for the trailer in full, this is how the inside was. All that had paint all over it, paint all over that, which this isn't, you know, affecting the performance of the trailer, but it's kind of disappointing. Just bolts, wires in there, all that in there. All those are drain holes, but they're just like cut out, and like it's like rough as crap in here. Like the paint just like isn't there. And then also they literally painted over a bug in there, so like, you know, they didn't vacuum this thing out, and this chunk of metal was left in there. And I thought it was welded on there for a second, but they painted over that too, and it was just stuck right there. It was actually stuck right here. You can see where it went over, like right there. So that was the first thing. That was the only thing. That was the only thing that was really disappointing at first. Then if we climb into the bed here, which I will say, this is the one thing I love about this trailer, these things, so you don't have to put a pin through the door to lock it. That's really nice. Of course, it's muddy in here. So this is minor. It doesn't affect the performance of the trailer. The door still closes, but this door was not welded right, so it's all like really bowed out. I'll kind of close it here so y'all know what it looks like. That's how it looks like when it's closed. I'll fully latch it too. See if y'all can bear with my camera here, trying to do this one-handed. So that's fully latched. That's how the door is. Kinda wonky. Then along here, like, it's not terrible, but you can tell where they missed, like, sealing this all good. Like all along there. There's gaps right in there. all along there. Same thing on the other side. Nothing too major, but just something I noticed. Then later on, after I did like my first load of brush and then loading my equipment in, there's one there, not that one. It's at first is only this one that popped up. Then there's another one right in here. It's just covered in dirt, so you can't really see it, but there's one right there. One right there. These later popped up. That whole one's starting to come up. Got one right there. So, nothing terribly major, but that's annoying because the stitch welds came undone. And that's all wrong with the trailer, but this trailer cost me $16,000, right? So you'd expect, this stuff to be done right. So how did Texas Pride, the manufacturer, respond? Well, at first they did not do a good job at compensating me. Originally, I talked to the two guys that I talked to there. I'm not gonna say their names because they're just doing their job, Originally they had offered me a $100 check, and then they said they sent me paint, a new lock with a key to the pump box because I never got the key to the pump box to begin with. They'd send me that, paint, sealant for along the edges here. I think that was it. And a new assembly for the piece of metal that held the pump box door open. Which I said they can send the stuff over, but I'm not accepting the $100 check because that wouldn't cover that wouldn't be nowhere near enough to cover getting the pump box redone like it's supposed to. Which just entails paint and fixing the just kind of poor metal work and welding work that was in there, and then also fixing all these welds. So then they offered to basically cover the cost of repairing it, but they wanted me to send them a quote, and then they would decide how much they cover. They were wanting to cover $500 or something like that. They cover a portion of it and I cover the other portion, which I said no to. And finally I decided to call them again and basically told them I wanted at least to cover my time dealing with trying to deal with them to fix this, and also trying to deal with this, trying to get this fixed. I went and got a few quotes, and no place around me would take this boat of a trailer to their welding shop because it takes up a lot of space for no less than $1,000 to $2,000. And so I talked to the manager. Sound like a real Karen when I'm explaining this, but I talked to the manager, and that guy was a really good dude. I won't say his name either, but I mean, he sent me a $2,500 check to cover all the repairs and my time that was sort of wasted trying to get this stuff resolved. So in the end, Texas Pride did me right. Will I buy another trailer from them? I'll have to ponder about it. I definitely know to look over their work before I buy it. But the other thing that aggravated me was I made a 3.5 hour drive to pick this thing up, and then another 3.5 hours back. So that was sort of frustrating. But in the end, it's all good. I'm gonna be selling this trailer. I'm gonna be trying to sell it for $15,000. If I don't get what I want for it, I'll just keep it. But but other than that, this dump trailer has been great. I've liked it. It pulls great. Well, it sort of pulls great. Some days it pulls great, some days it don't. it like shakes the truck back and forth a lot, which I've adjusted the trailer brakes. I made sure the brakes weren't like, you know, like one brake wasn't like staying on while I was driving. It's not that, it's the play and the goose ball hitch on my truck, and it just depends on how it's feeling. It depends on how much is loaded in it. I'll show you at the end of the video what I'm talking about, but other than that, I mean, the dump trailer's worked great. It's dumped like it's supposed to. Nothing else has really failed other than the stitch welds. So I've been happy with the performance of the trailer. I just wasn't really happy with the quality of the trailer. That's the best way to put it. That being said, I'm going to be tomorrow, actually, I'm picking up an equipment trailer, and then as soon as I sell this trailer, I had already sold my smaller dump trailer, the Griffin one. But as soon as I sell this one, after this week, I'm gonna get it cleaned up and I'll sell it, list it, and I'll get me another dump trailer. I don't know if I'll go with the gooseneck again. Not that I hate goosenecks, I actually really like how they pull. It's just hooking them up. It's not that it's terrible. It's like, you know, if I was leaving, here's like my opinion on goosenecks versus like just regular bumper pulls. You need a gooseneck either A, it's okay to get a gooseneck either A, if you're hauling something really heavy with a pickup, just get a gooseneck. Like a 20K trailer rated and above. Now, if you plan on having that trailer hooked up to your truck 90% of the time, then get a gooseneck, because you won't have to unhook it as often. That's the pain in the ass, is hooking up and unhooking a gooseneck. Because you got to crawl on the bed, you got to back up to it, and it's a lot harder to back up to and line it up than a bumper pull. I mean, once I'm used to it, I'm actually kind of good at backing up to it, but still, you got to climb up into the bed. It's not fun on wet or cold days. Like, it generally takes me about 10 minutes to hook up a gooseneck versus a bumper pull. It takes me about 5. So, but this equipment trailer I'm getting, it's a bumper pull. This next dump trailer I'm getting, it's probably going to be a bumper pull. Unless I change my mind. And the reason that is too, like if this truck goes down, I can't pull this trailer with all blue empty. So like if that truck goes down for some reason and I need to get this trailer, I can't pull it with all blue. So that's another reason too. So if you got a lot of trucks that don't have gooseneck hitches already, and if you don't want to be worried about if that truck goes down that has the gooseneck hitch, and you still want to be able to get your trailer back, if that truck that's pulling it breaks down, bumper pulls the way to go too. But if you have 2 trucks that are capable of hauling a gooseneck, you don't have to worry about that. So a bunch of things to consider, but that's my Texas Pride dump trailer. I've owned it for 2.5 months, and I'm probably gonna be getting rid of it. If for y'all that are interested in it, you know, it's still fine for loading equipment, but you know, you can't really scoop material out of it unless you get all those welds fixed, because then it's just going to pry the sheets up, you know. So, you know, if you're literally just going to use this trailer, if one of y'all is interested in it, it's literally only going to be good for like loading equipment and then dumping material or hauling material off, and that's it, which is fine. That's what it's made to do. But hopefully I can find a buyer for it. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.